Hi everyone, welcome to Making Things with String. Welcome to Vlogmas, day 12. Welcome to the first day this year that I didn't quite feel like getting on camera myself. So today's gonna be a bunch of overhead footage for you. While I'm chit-chatting, I thought I would show you some up-close footage of my Swedish weaving project, which I showed yesterday because a lot of people in the comments expressed some interest in this project and hadn't heard about Swedish weaving before, as I hadn't before I started this project. So here is kind of what that looks like up close. So hopefully you can kind of see, if you're a cross stitcher, I feel like you can kind of see how this works. But yeah, it's a really beautiful effect. Let's get started with the video for today though. So what I typically do to start the video off is I show some footage of me opening up my Vista Fade Advent Calendar. So you can see me doing that this morning. This morning I opened up day number 12. The colorway is called Patina. And this is a beautiful dual-toned, another dual-toned skein, but it's a slightly different color, different dual of colors than what we saw on the 10th with Green Earth. So Patina is a little more blue than Green Earth. But you can see that that Viridian color from day 11 is very similar to the other color that is in this patina. So here's a close-up of kind of those three all together. The one that I've got pulled out is today's patina. Then we've got Viridian here and Green Earth here. So this is turning out to be a really interesting fade. It's one thing that's interesting is I actually almost decided to rearrange the boxes in this advent calendar. So right now it's like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And because it's a fade, I thought to myself, why wouldn't it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we would also rearrange this row so that the fade is more apparent. But I'm actually glad I didn't do that because I'm noticing a bit of a pattern, especially as you can see between these sort of second half of each of these rows. We've got lots of like variegated, beautiful mixes of colors in these first 3 skeins of each of the rows. Then a tonal slash dual tonal, then a single color tonal, then a dual color tonal. So I wonder if that is actually a pattern that's going to continue. But these are beautiful and the fade is looking really cool, and these colors are really great colors for me in particular, so I am very happy with how this is going. All right, so next up, I did work a little bit today on this piece, which is Reaching Skyward, a piece by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's the 2023 Stitch Along. And as I mentioned yesterday, I'm not making huge amounts of progress on this anymore each day. So today there was a little section of the teal border up here that hadn't been finished that I filled in, and I brought this very bottom border around as well. And I think that's all I did, unless I hadn't finished this. maybe right now I can try and pop in some footage from where I was yesterday if I still have that. But as I mentioned yesterday, my plan is to bring this border around, do a little border around that rightmost copper motif, and leave the rest of the brass tacks colorway for a finish on video of some kind this weekend. But yeah, here we are. Actually, something that I don't think I've ever talked about, even though I kind of have meant to every single time I've done a video since this happened, is this. I don't know how apparent it's been in any videos because yeah, I don't often just show that part of the margin, but there's this super hot pink mark in the margin of this piece, which I may try to get out at some point, but for right now, I'm thinking it's not going to be visible when I frame the piece, given that my top and bottom margins here aren't going to allow for that big of a margin. But what happened was, this summer, when I was on my little road trip around the Gaspé in Quebec, I was reading the 10th anniversary edition of Leviathan Wakes, which has this like hot pink, hold on, let me get it. All right, this is the 10th anniversary edition of Leviathan Wakes. I've been rereading this series, and I was reading this first book of the series on my road trip this summer. And this book has this hot pink edging to the pages in this particular edition. And I was tossing this book into the same bag as my cross stitch project. It was on the Q-snap, and this particular section was like rubbing up against some part of this book. And that is what created this pink, hot pink mark on my beautiful Reaching Skyward piece. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be visible, and I could try and remove it if I needed to, but that's the story of the hot pink mark in my margin. I've done a little bit more stitching today, so let's check that out now. Last but not least for today is my progress on the Lola Crow Creepy Christmas Village Ornament Stitch Along. This is the second ornament in that stitch along, called the Haunted Holiday House. And today I did a lot of white stitching, so all of the white stitching was done today. I've got the little snowflakes around the house, and the snow down on the border, and the snow in the roof. But I also started working on the little ghosties that are in this piece. So there's sort of a ghostly figure in this big picture window, and a little ghostly kitty waiting to be let in. So I started working on that today. And yeah, that's where we are. All right, thank you everyone for checking out my Vlogmas video again today. Really appreciate you spending the time with me. Looking forward to tomorrow's check-in, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. bye.